Careless, what's up? How we doing? Careless back in his home for the first time in weeks. We got JV 7X BT, got Choo Choo Train hype conductor deal. It's pretty sick. Very cool. What's up? Commodus. Was Commodus the one that betrayed what's his name in Gladiator? I think it was. Pretty sure it was. JJ Twitch. What's up? You're always here early, man. Appreciate you. How's everybody feeling? It is my routine now. It's like my favorite thing to do. Pop in, see what everyone's saying. Because you get like some weird alpha. Like, is everybody just like, are you just like sitting on your hands right now being like, all-time highs are coming? Or are you nervous? What are we thinking right now? Yeah, both. It's a weird thing because, what's up, Haz? Good to have you in here. I'm waiting for the 10K candle, watching Bears Disbelief. Yeah, man. FOMOing more fresh powder. Good for you for having more fresh powder that you haven't deployed. Good time to be. Good time to be. Yeah, it's been a really bizarre, last few days. Hey, Sonia, don't worry about it. Hello to you. Hello to the family. Family's more important than my bullshit. Go spend time with family. It's great. Yeah, check YouTube. It's also on it's on Twitch too, so you can watch either way. You don't have to just go to YouTube. I don't really care. It makes no difference to me. So, check them out. I'm bullish, but don't discard a shakeout. All right, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that take. You have a good one as well. It's weird sitting here and so I posted this chart yesterday, which I don't stream on weekends often. I will sometimes, but if I do, it's like late after my family goes to sleep or something. It's my time, right? But I wanted to get this chart out there because it's just like weird. And you look at this area and there's a lot going on. I'll zoom in and then zoom out to kind of break it all down. Yeah. Sitting on my hands, but beat and new season. Yeah, sitting below, higher it. Yeah. It's very tough to be bearish when funding isn't crazy. Do you remember the last time we were here? You know what, Careless, or I don't know, whatever you want to call me. Yeah, I can call you Careless here. You have crushed that play with Secret. I don't know why you would ever sell it. You've been on that from the start. So no, don't dump that. What are you doing? Stake it, dude. Make money. I bought the dip of my chart was inverted. What do I do? Uh-oh. So you're shorting is what you're saying? Well, look, there's a case to be made. So I have this zoomed in on purpose, including my terribly made orange arrow. I don't like to redraw things if I can avoid it, because then it looks like I doctor my chart. So this is what it looks like from the outside. Or it doesn't look that crazy. When you zoom in, it looks like I'm, literally on fucking MS Paint. I'm 4 years old. So there's quite a lot of shit going on here. This is the supporting upward trend line that I talked about. You'd want it to hold if it could. That's this. There's this little baby channel top or TRL. And then there's this red TRL from before. And the even larger yellow channel top. There's a lot of stuff going on. Jaspo, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for the Prime sub. I always forget that's a thing. So, thank you for doing that. I'm told that there are... Oh, you're about to hear me. Okay, there we go. I'm told there's a way that I can control the stuff that you guys see. You know, last time there was like ads. That was a little different. So that's pretty wild. Which, by the way, Jasper, that didn't show up on my chat box. I had to look to a different place to see it. That's pretty weird. But anyway, so you have this area of a lot of crazy stuff, and it's somewhat confirming to me that these wicks came down through these different layers and they popped right back up. That lets me know that that's pretty, you know, they're being respected, which is good. Which is good. So there's just a lot going on in this area. But to the point that was made a little bit ago, was funding is neutral and we are up. I mean, really sitting. Look how close we are to highs, guys and gals. I try really hard to not be guys only. Try to be gender inclusive. And I don't really even count this 65,000 as the highs. It's really more like right here to me, 63.6. So we're this close and funding is effectively neutral. Which is nice. Do you remember? I don't know if you can go back. Can you go back and look somewhere historically and see what funding was when we were here last time? Because I would be curious to know what that was. I bet it was crazy. That doesn't shock me, Jaspo, because it's a weird area. And there's a chart. Okay, yeah, JV7. Do you know what, like, can you tell me? If you have time. If not, don't worry about it. Yeah, just send to me a Telegram or whatever. What was it when we were, like, right here? I'm sure it's just bananas. We don't have that right now, which is pretty sick. Which means that people haven't even really started to like FOMO leverage in. And I am here for that. Like, that is really, really powerful stuff. So someone said that their line was slightly different than my own, and I drew and redrew this a few times, which you never really like. You like it when it's very, very clear, and you can make it more clear by going to a line chart, which is what I ended up doing to make it slightly more concise. Okay, he just popped it into the Telegram. So that would have been, what was the date? The date was early April of 21. Yeah, I mean, look at those. Is crazy. Crazy high. We are not even 1/10 of the way to where we were, right? I'm looking at the funding rate. I don't want to live produce this and pull it on, but I will try to. So this is the way that I ended up drawing this chart, because there were so many different ways you could interpret it with the wicks that occurred on either side, that this goes back to like what TA is and why I like to talk about it. And I think why people like to hear me talk about it, not necessarily because I'm right or I'm necessarily good at it. I think I am, but maybe I'm not. The point is, you try to keep it simple. This is slightly off, but you can tell the parallel's still the same on either side. The point of TA is risk management first, to give yourself entry points and exits, to kind of cut yourself when you need to, so you don't get left, you know, being the guy here who bought and was like, oh no, I'm sure it'll come right back up. And you bought at 60,000 and you held it to 28. Okay. You put stops in place to protect yourself, which is the point. So that's one part of TA. But the psychological no nonsense part of TA that I think you need to keep at the forefront of your brain whenever you're looking at a chart and it looks slightly ambiguous. The idea is to take a step back and go, what is the most obvious thing to see? And then back yourself into that. And the way that I do that is with line charts. You don't have to do this in the standard marketplace because there aren't crazy runaway liquidity wicks which screw up the chart. Bubba, what's up? So you don't see those issues like you do here. I mean, some of these wicks, this is on a daily chart, they still get kind of insane off of where the opens and the closes are. Through here. So you have to pick what is, when somebody looks at a chart, what is the most obvious thing they can see when they look at it. So if you're ever looking, it is ambiguous. That's how you do it. Did I get some sun? Yeah, a little bit. I was outside all day Saturday. Hey, Bob. Hey, I love that you're here, Boba. That's cool, man. I try to do it at the same times. Like, to be honest with you, I'm probably never going to set like a solid schedule. In the winter, I'll get closer. Yeah, it was like 70 this weekend and sunny. It's middle of October in the Midwest. It's pretty wild. So keep that in mind. If you're diagnosing a chart, you don't know what to do, delete everything on your chart, which is what I use this one for. Look at that. I forgot I even did that. Look at that shit. I leave little breadcrumbs for myself all the time. I had no idea that was there. I just switched to it. That's why I have so I have Bybit, which is what I generally trade on, and then I also have the index. But I keep this one cleaner than the other ones, just for easy reference points. So these are pivots, which I used as like a pivot example on a previous stream, which is where you know price turns. And when you see pivots that connect on either side, that's how you know it's an important support and resistance area. This is just like basic things that you learn as you do this more often. So it just helps you to know that that's like a key area. So when it comes down again and hits here and reverses, people are like, holy shit, how'd you know? Like, well, because a previous pivot was formed on one side and then the other side. And so, you know, people are defending the area. That's all support and resistance is. So it is as simple as that. I'm making it sound maybe a little more simple than it really is, but yeah, keep shit simple, and that's how this thing goes. Now, I would like to talk about a couple of different scenarios for Bitcoin because I'm more bullish right now than I've been. Yeah, I'm more bullish right now than I think I've ever been on Bitcoin. Which you can tell from my voice, right? I'm more bullish than I have ever been on Bitcoin. And there's a few reasons for that are technically based. But can we just all reflect for a moment about how depressed everybody was through all of that? Do you remember the clowns that were calling for, like, I'll see you at 13,000? Because I do. Yeah, love the bottom shorters, man. There was somebody the other day that was like, yeah, I bought the top, so I'm going to sell here. Okay. Well, I try to buy the bottom and sell the top, but you do you. And so we've come through so much that a lot of people were very close to capitulating. I mean, it's like the sun hits my printer just right. And so the market was depressed, people feeling terrible. The U.S. economy has been an absolute tire fire. And it still is. And we've rallied all the way back to highs. And it feels like no one gives a shit. And yes, I'm going to pull up the ES in a second here, which is part of the reason why I'm so bullish. But it's a weird time right now because people... Don't you feel like people should be more excited? Because this entire run up... Like think about this. Guys... At the end of January, we went from 42 down to 29. And people were like, fuck, it's over. And then we doubled. We just made the same move. Look at the boxes, guys. This is why it's nice to have these charts on here. Green support area, green support area. Red resistance area, red resistance area. We came all the way back. That is awesome. And it feels like no one gives a shit. Tell me I'm wrong. Like, for real. Am I wrong? So the fact that I feel like nobody cares. That's right. That's right. JV7, that's exactly right. It feels like no one cares. I had no idea that was the case. It feels like nobody cares. And I love it. And I think you're right. I was talking to Kaz earlier. I don't think he's in here. But I was talking to Kaz earlier. And I think people are too exposed to alts right now. And so does he. Where people have gotten way too comfortable holding alts. Like, I'm one of them. Yeah, but think about that for a second, KJK and Yo-Yos. Small people are not buying right now, I think. Institutions and VCs. Like, that might be the case. But think about what that means for Bitcoin. Think about what that means for Bitcoin if that's the case. Let's play that thought through to conclusion. If that means that the VCs are still loading, because, like, let's be honest, guys. Who do you think was buying down here? As much as we would like to think that we hop on stream here, or, Kaz's stream or Creds or whoever it is, and we think that we're all like, we should support this area. We don't move markets. Okay? They do. And so they've bought here. And they formed a channel. They bought here, and they ripped it. And they knew the ETF news was coming, because believe me, they knew before we did. Which is a great way to play it. But if they got this high and they haven't gotten people to FOMO yet, then they haven't come close to making the money that they generally do. Yeah. Yo-yo, they do. Yeah, no. I got you. You don't need to correct your grammar here. I generally know what people mean. So think about that and what it would mean. Because there's no FOMO, because people, I think, yeah, so like, Tony, you're not far off. Because I think that there's a lot of people that are not, yeah, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. It starts trading tomorrow, man. Tomorrow. The ETF is tradable tomorrow. No, it's like you can put money in tomorrow. Somebody shared it in the Stack Labs chat. If you're not in the Stack Labs chat and like messing around, you should be. Okay, I'll put the link in. It's one of the greatest things about having a chat room like this one that I just gave is that there's a lot of really smart people that are looking at this stuff all day, and they share really good articles. Yeah, I know you. I figured you were, Bobo. And yeah, I forget who shared it. It might have been SM. It could have been MK. I forget exactly who it was. Might have been Beam Me Up. But like somebody shared the actual article. It's about to run. Somebody just said I have some GBTC in my Roth IRA. Should I switch to the ETF? GBTC announced today that they're going to migrate theirs to an ETF anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It's up to you what you want to do. It's all going to be a play on premium. Greg shared it. Yeah. Greg. Greg's a great guy. Greg is a great guy. So yeah, it's all about to run, and nobody's appropriately positioned. So if we're not appropriately positioned at fucking all-time highs, what do you think happens next? Would I long BTC here? So to be fair, guys, like I really, I try not to be a dick about my own trading, but I longed here. I legit called the bottom here, like live on Kaz's stream, man. It was on Kaz's stream that I talked about the divergence long here. It's never given up that long. If you go back and watch that stream, I talked about the long. It has been up only from that long. Okay? Good for you, dude. I mean, that's amazing. If you traded here from 61.2, that's amazing. If you're holding your collateral in BTC, then hold it. Yeah. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna cut up his video. I already talked to him about it because like the shit that went down on that video was just absolutely nuts. He and I. It was like an all-time stream. We're gonna start streaming like once or twice a month on either person's channel, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed going over there, and I want to have him over here. But you ask about longing up here. And it depends. No, Jasper, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, move your collateral to BTC, but don't long it like with a futures contract. Okay? Ride the wave. And be ready to cut. This could reject. It'd be absolutely cruel. It'd be absolutely cruel if it rejected, but it could. I've said this before on numerous occasions. If you overshoot a channel and it rejects and comes back down, if you like fail, it's going to test the other side. That can happen. It might happen. It might happen. So, Bob, you have, that's a very human emotion to have right here. What Bob said was, I'm scared of people selling the news tomorrow. And this is not a physically custodied ETF, which is bullshit. And like Raul Paul talked about that being a joke a little bit too. That it should be, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be. And it's like the SEC splitting hairs just to be dicks. Like, fine, it is what it is. But the point is, it's a big thing, and when this launched in Canada, the first month it was available in Canada, it brought in $1 billion with a B dollars. Billion, not million, $1 billion in 30 days in Canada. And all due respect to our maple syrup drinking neighbors to the north, we swing a little bit harder than they do in the financial systems. Okay, we do. The reason I sold my position, because I heard that when you hold a position, you need to ask yourself, would you long here? And if not, you should sell. Bobo, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It depends on, yeah, dude, so do I. I love maple syrup. Are you kidding me? Look at me. I love maple syrup too. Bobo, you're right. But you're never going to catch a breakout that way. They're two different forms of trading. Longing at resistance, which is what you'd be doing here, generally ill-advised. It is. Like, just call a spade here. Like, yeah, you know what I did is I bought the top. Sweet. That's really smart. But you have to learn how to play that a little bit differently. You don't YOLO in with your whole stack. You don't, think that this is going to be a guarantee. But you do it because if it does break out, it's going to go nuts. Like, there's no way that it's not. The movement on price when we crest 65,000 with neutral or negative funding, are you shitting me? It would be crazy. So that's where it's worth the risk. Because you might get it, you might eat it, man. You might absolutely eat a drawdown. But the RR, which is what JV7XBT just said, starts to become more worth it because the upside is just there. So it's different styles of trading. If you traded from 40 to 60 and took profit and you're holding your collateral in Bitcoin, good for you. Hold your collateral in Bitcoin, take whatever trades you have off, sit in your collateral. If you're like me, I am long in Bitcoin. My collateral's in Bitcoin. I'm 2x long without using any leverage. Because my collateral's in Bitcoin and I'm 1x long in my perp. Okay? That's just how I feel. That's how I want to play this because I'm very bullish on Bitcoin right now. I could also switch to 1x short if I just thought I wanted to lock in my USD. Like, there's a couple different ways to play this. Switching completely to cash this close to all-time high without some sort of level being lost, because like I got 3 of them here. Red, yellow, orange. It's holding above all of them right now. No, I would not go to cash. I don't know how my VMID got knocked off, but it would have been... Would you stop? Right there. Which was on the chart, which was hit. I mean, it's ridiculous. She's like reading a book. Not even a good book. It's a paint by numbers book, right? So you had, like, if we're doing this, cool. Let's do it. There's enough to carry us through. So... keeping your bias in check. Let's do the alt-I. Because call a spade. You got to see both sides of this thing. Would you short this at the bottom? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yep, after all that, I just said I wouldn't. That said... the breakdown at the bottom would be magnificent if it did, okay? So there's ways to play it. There's ways to play it. All right. You got any thoughts on that? Have any questions? I'm going to move on to ETH, BTC, and then ETH in a moment. You got to decide what your personal investing style is. I'm very much willing to take on the right kind of risk. So no, I'm not putting in 1/3 of my portfolio into some bullshit coin. But I will put a lot on the line for a potential breakout of Bitcoin. Because the RR is worth it. Might I get kicked in the nuts? Yeah. And I'm okay with that. That's the risk I'm willing to take. Right? Hey man, if you long 40 to 60, you're not that new to this. It's a great trade. All right. So, I dropped this into the announcement channel earlier. And it's, yeah, 1/3 in alts. All right. I mean, you know, do you. I also long from 51. TP 45. You mean short? I don't know what you're saying there. Oh, long 51. I don't know what you're saying. All right. You lost money? I guess what you're saying. All right. So I'm getting, yeah, lost. Okay. So I'm getting closer to the point where I'm not going to talk about my token set anymore. But the reason why I started it was because of this chart. And the act of trading ETH BTC back and forth is hard and a concept that people really don't understand. And we got our Bond song on, sweet. And there was this rip off the lows on the 11th, 12th, so literally a week ago, where it was like, Ethereum's gonna lead the rally, woo, straight to the top. And a lot of people moved into Ethereum, and I did not. Jared, why didn't you? Can't believe that. Well, there's a couple reasons. One, because my Bitcoin bias is very strong, where I think Bitcoin is going to do crazy things, so it's easy for me to not FOMO in on something I don't believe in, sure. But remember, when you're trading something like this, because this is essentially just Ethereum denominated in Bitcoin, right? So I'm looking at the Ethereum chart denominated in Bitcoin, although I view it as something separate from ETHUSD altogether in my head. Why was I not the person who was straight flipping Bitcoin to Ethereum when this happened, when this rip just went nuts? And it's because of what I have on your screen right now. Can someone tell me what this is called in the chat? It's a falling channel, aka it's a downtrend. A chart. Well, I think that's one of those times where Trebek, rest in peace, would go to the judges and say, judges, we're going to need more. Yeah, it's a falling channel. It's a downtrend. Okay? It's a downtrend. What is a downtrend? It is a series of lower low and lower highs. And as much as everyone likes to believe, trend reversals fucking happen all the time, you are wrong. You are 100% wrong. For some reason, people think trend reversals happen. Ah, son of a bitch. The ad started. Okay, sorry. I'll just kind of vamp here about trend reversals. Some people think trend reversals happen all the time. And they don't. It's a series of lower highs and lower lows. And so I'll leave this chart up here for when you guys coming back. By the way, can you guys still hear me when you're in ads? I'm just curious. Is everybody in an ad when you're in an ad? Like, does anybody not have an ad right now? I don't. Huh, weird. All right. You can't hear me. Okay. Well, good to know. Ad block and sub. No ads. Sick. Prime. Back. Okay. We're back. Usually, it's supposed to give me like a heads up when that happens, so my bad. It didn't. Or I didn't notice it. So, yeah, fucking rugged by ads again. Half you guys didn't get it, though, so go figure that one out. I don't know. I'm still learning this. Ads just started like last time I did it. Pulu, what's up? So anyway, a trend reversal. Everybody thinks they happen overnight. Everybody thinks they happen left and right. And you know what, man? If you're looking at 5-minute charts, they do. Okay? They do. Look, trend reversal. This was a lower high. And here's a higher high. Hey, trend reversal. You know, Ethereum to the moon, right? But if you're looking at the time frames that you're supposed to be looking at, high time frames to make your decisions, not low time frames, trend reversals don't happen easily. It takes a lot of work to move price, guys. Like, a lot of work to move price. Like, someone has to move the instrument with conviction, and people need to follow, or something needs to change. So why did I not switch from Bitcoin to Ethereum besides the normal reasons, which would be, you know, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin at this moment. You have this area of consolidation. We went up, we were flagging down, came down to it, bounced below, couldn't get above, back down, okay? When you lose a level that was previously support, what does it generally turn into? Those of you at home, the answer's on your screen. Yeah, resistance, guys. Like, very simple shit. It's so simple. Okay? Like, and people have been asking me, when are you going to switch collateral? When are you going to move from Bitcoin to Ethereum? When I have a really good reason to. And this is not one of them. Do you understand that if you FOMO bought the top here, let's say you were switching collateral, like I say to do sometime, from top to bottom, you're down 10% of your portfolio? Like, that's crazy. Just by getting these wrong. So when people ask what makes you switch, it's a true trend reversal or a very strong trigger of a reversal. And you go, well, Jared, like in a high time frame, you're not going to come close to catching the bottom on that. Let's say I don't. I didn't hear. I did not sell to Bitcoin here. I didn't. I sold here. But somebody FOMO'd in down there. Okay? Tried to rally back up, got shot down. That is price action, telling you that it's not happening. Right? So, you get this nice little H, which is what this is right here. I'll delete this off because you don't need to see it right now. That's very bearish if it continues going down, which I believe it will. Okay? So you see my notes. I'll go back to the daily. This line has been holding since the breakout in the spring. Right here. We're below it right now for the first time in a minute. Now you said to me, like, is that market weakness or what's going on? No. This is a contributing sign to me that Bitcoin is bullish. It's not that Ethereum is weak. We're about to go to the Ethereum USD chart in a moment, and there's nothing weak to talk about. Being less bullish than an instrument in which you're compared is not bearish. It's just not as bullish. And we're trying to catch the plus expected value move. The plus expected value move right now is that Bitcoin outperforms. At what point do you know that it's not going to break through the resistance? So when it doesn't, but like the point is, if this reversal would have happened, here's what it would have looked like, Jason. Okay. That's generally what these reversals look like. And so I would have watched everybody FOMO here. It would have come back down and I would have entered here when it tested this again from the other side. And it takes a lot of patience and discipline to not just FOMO in. I probably would have moved 10, 20% over. In fact, I did move part of the token set over. I think I got like 25% at one point. Maybe a little bit more. Where it was just like, they're moving too much in tandem and I wanted to hedge a little bit. And I did. But that was when this got closer to here. I think I moved it in here just in case this was going to rip back up. So it was a nice little hedge for the token set. But yeah, okay, great. Like, I think that the Detroit Tigers should win the division next year because they got a lot of young talent that are going to catch their stride. It doesn't mean anything until it happens. It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what I see and what I can react against, and not doing it in a way where I'm just playing off my emotions, going, holy shit. So like what you just said, Haz, and I don't mean to pick on you, Haz. I'm not doing it on purpose. Is having a conviction like that ETH will outperform Bitcoin before the end of the year. And being, I'm set that this is what's going to happen, will cost you money. It will cost you money. You know what I think? I think what I see. I like Bitcoin to go higher, but I'm open to all outcomes. So yeah, like I think so too. But if you guys heard me not long before this crazy ass move in Bitcoin, when it was like sitting down around mid-range, I was like, I don't know, I like Ethereum more. I've completely changed my mind on that. Because I got new information. An ETF was approved. Okay? That's a lot of new information. So, coming for the alpha stay for shitting on Detroit sports. Yeah, no doubt, man. Look, it's bad out here right now. It's really shitty to be a Detroit sports fan. Like, fuck me. Are you looking at the pivot points back to 2017-18? A little bit, Jaspo. Because, like, that's where this line came from. So, like, this whole area is where my target was before. Right? It's just annoying to look at it on a chart, so I didn't draw it. But, like, yeah, that's where that resistance came from. So, yeah, I look at everything. And then here's where the support was on this. Right? So yeah, there's always a reason to check history. Because like I joked about last time, I thought about holding an impromptu stream when we rejected whatever it was, like 62,000 on Friday. Just like late Friday. Only to say, like, congratulations, that asshole who bought at 62 grand and held it 28 just closed his position. And it definitely happened. It definitely happened. A lot of people were that person who are finally sleeping easily and feel good about closing out at break even. And they're about to watch Bitcoin go to 100 grand, and they're going to buy the top there too and watch it come back down to 60 grand and back up to 100. They'll close again and we'll go to 180, or something crazy. So you have to look at the history. But again, the other thing, like I started the stream off with, the reason why you look at, God, this is killing me here. Move my head over. The thing that kills me about TA and how people view it is the point is to catch the most amount of eyes, like what people are looking at. And so, fortunately or not, people will go back to 2017, 2018, although I'd like to think that those people closed their positions or did something new with it. But, there's probably somebody out there who did this. Like, no shit, guys. There's somebody out there. That YOLO'd in, here at 0.14, that's waiting to close out a break even. I guarantee you that person exists. I guarantee you that person, like, no, not a doubt in my mind. There's a person that's been holding since June of 2017. That is like, we're halfway there. I'm almost back. Or thought that once upon a time. Okay? Don't think for a moment that people aren't that stupid, because they are. The other thing really quickly on this before we go to ETH USD, there is like a little divergence forming here, which makes me interested in Ethereum a little bit more. But this is like still potentially days away from forming. It could be a week away from forming. It could actually blow through the bottom of it, not form at all. But I brought it up this morning when I sent out my updates. So figured I'd bring it up here. You'd want this to look like this and have this not break down lower. And that'd be a nice little divergence along, which would have me interested. Okay. All right. That was good timing because we're sitting on this UTL. Getting very busy. This thing annoys me. All right, let's go to daily. Make sure we don't have too much shit in here. There's the V-mid. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that. Yeah, you know what's funny is I actually want all these things in here. I could probably contract this. Watch me do charts for a while, see how my brain works. You might be like, that's it, you're stupid. All right, that's fine too. Okay. Support, became resistance, broke through again. It's now support again. Have the same thing right here. Resistance, resistance, broke through. This is probably support again. Here's your UTL. You want it to stick. If it doesn't, V-mids work both ways, 35.40. Where do we reject here? On a daily chart, V-mid rejected up here. So when we say we're more bullish in Bitcoin, I am. You look at this chart. Nothing really bearish about this, is there? So it's funny because if Bitcoin breaks out, it's not like Ethereum is just going to roll over. In fact, this would be my guess. If Bitcoin really breaks out, which I hope it does, I would expect this until it stops. Not that long, but like that's my point. Is to get right up to the precipice and just hold. It might even like pop in a little bit and like make people rotate early just to fuck with you. Okay? Test your resolve. How well prepared are you? And you know what? People will rotate better than I will. Because they'll just catch the right moment. And you know what, man? Good for you. Good for you. Like, many blessings on your house, young man. You know, whatever. All I want to see is a real break of the trend, a higher low being established. You can rotate in, and that's it. Like, that's it. That is the secret that will outperform 99% of the market. 99%, guys. It will outperform 99% of the market. Just nuts. Absolutely nuts. So yeah, I see nothing wrong with this chart. This actually looks amazing. Take this down further. It works both ways. Like, that's great. Great. Yeah, Commodus, I'll do it right now. I assume you're the guy who asked about it in the chat. So unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, you know, Doge and Badger run when Bitcoin's going to run. Look what Badger's done. Here's Doge. Okay. Yeah, you know what, JV7, people are going to... Look, Doge is probably better than most of the other shit that people are into right now. No joke. No joke. And I hate Doge. Okay. So, Commodus, this is the point right here, man. This is it. It tried a moment ago, or a little bit ago. Green dildo. That's hysterical. Green dildo. I haven't heard that. That's really good. So it tried and it got rejected. It's probably not that far away from making it. So yeah, man. There's something to be said about longing Doge because this will move level to level. Was it? Oh, that's hysterical. Yeah. I'm not, as was just discussed in the Stack Labs chat this week. I'm not a huge Elon fan. I like Tesla. I think he sucks. Man, he's brilliant. Literally, like I'm in awe of him and what he's accomplished, and I will continue to be. Okay, so I want to make that clear. I think Elon is absolutely world-beatingly great. Okay, he is a once-in-a-generation mind. Dude has built so much; it's awesome. I like SpaceX alone. I'm behind because he's essentially took the space program and made it obsolete in the US, which is great because all we do is lose money on shit in governmentally run programs. But yes, we should definitely have government healthcare. Good call. Anyway, it's not that I don't respect him and like him a lot for his brain because yeah, the dude's an absolute monster, and he will continue to be. The reason why Elon annoys me is that he has this tremendous worldwide platform to get a message across, to really, really change lives, to really help sow the seed of crypto and what it could be, on the doors it will open, on how it will flatten the earth and bring third world countries into first world economies faster than anything that could be done. And what did he choose to tweet about? Fucking cum rocket and Dogecoin. Fucking Shiba Inu bullshit, okay? That is an egregious misuse of his platform, and it annoys me. Like, fuck off. Do better, man. Do better. I understand that you have to blow off your steam some way, but do better. Anyway. Yeah, I'll check on Cake. Ah, dude, fuck. To the moon. To the moon. I didn't even watch the SNL. Sushi's really funny, man. Because sushi's everywhere, too. I'm pretty sure sushi's on AVAX, although I never used them when I was really over there a lot. I'm still on AVAX, just there's nothing, in my opinion, worth trading right now. So I'm just like hanging out, holding things that I enjoy until the next time. Yeah, I mean, this just looks sloppy. It looks terrible. Like, I'm sure that sushi's gonna run. Like, you know, this is a lower low on a low enough time frame. This is a higher high, right? So that was a lower high, lower low, equal low, higher low, or higher high, right? And then another one. So this is theoretically putting in a higher low on a time frame, but like that's also a bear flag. So what's up with the Elon Grimes 3-3 thing? I mean, that's ohm, that's time, that's yeah. So the 3-3 meme is essentially the idea is that if everybody puts their money into ohm or time or whatever, and if everybody reinvests their yield and doesn't cash out, the Ponzi will continue going. So there's like a spreadsheet that's like, it's like a flow chart. I forget what it's called. It's like 1-1, you know, 2-2 would be like the second box over on either side. That'd be 2-2 and then 3-3. And so 3-3 is like people that are staking, you know, bond or whatever it is. Yeah, it's essentially game theory. 3-3 is like, I'll buy in bonds, you know, my Ohm and I'll continue to rebond it. If you're staking Ohm, you continue to restake it. And if we just continue running this thing forward, we all get rich. It's essentially like the human embodiment of the prisoner's dilemma. And you saw this play out in Ohm the other day. I'll actually get into that here in a bit. Shike 001 just saying hi, letting you know that I'll watch the recording with great curiosity. Gotta get some sleep. Yeah, man, get you. Yeah, Bob's got it perfect. Cooperation is the best outcome for all participants. Okay? 100%. 100%. So yeah, it's the DeFi equivalent of the prisoner's dilemma. And are you familiar with what the prisoner's dilemma is? Like by a show of hands. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say the prisoner's dilemma? Getting pretty quiet in here. Nope. Yes. All right. 1 and 1. Absolutely not. Perfect. No? Okay. This is worth talking about. I'm even going to turn down the music a little bit too. Shady Capital. First time chatter. Thank you for chatting. It tells me that. I didn't know that it did that. That's cool. Thank you for chatting. I'm going to explain it as best as I can in a succinct manner. Yeah, cooperate. You know what, though? It's very interesting that the cooperation has worked for this, though, isn't it? So real quickly, Prisoner's Dilemma. The reason why it's called a Prisoner's Dilemma is because the way... Oh, sweet, man. Awesome. Well, thank you for hanging out. The way that it's always been posited is like, let's say two people create a crime or commit a crime, and you're arrested for that crime. All the evidence that they have is circumstantial. And the only evidence that could truly convict one or the other are the two people that are in separate rooms, in separate interrogation rooms, being talked to by two different people. You have no idea what's going on. So I'm in room A, you're in room B, and we've been arrested for whatever crime that it is. And here are the possible outcomes. I'm in room A, you're in room B. I, in room A, turn on you. I flip. I testify against you. I say it was all, Shady's idea. It was all Shady Capital's idea. I was just along for the ride. I will testify against him in return for a reduced sentence. Great. In that outcome, Shady gets 5 years in jail. I know. Shady gets 5 years in jail. I maybe get none, maybe a little bit, maybe one, maybe a couple months. Community service. Probably none, though. You get the deal. Another outcome of that is the opposite. He flips on me, and I don't say anything. So now I'm going to jail for 5 years. Shady's getting away free. Okay? So those are two outcomes. The total time served on either one of those outcomes is 5 total years. However, what happens if neither of us talk? Then we're both found guilty for lesser charges and probably both end up spending a maximum of a year in prison, but we both spend it. Okay? No, bullshit. The only hard evidence they have is me testifying against you, or you testifying against me. If they can't convict on those charges, the best they can do is something lesser, probably holding a maximum, prison sentence of a year. Okay? So that's the idea behind the prisoner's dilemma. Is that if we don't say anything, then the best possible outcome of total time served is 2 years. One for me, one for you for lesser charges. If either of us flip on each other, then it's 5 total years served. That's the whole idea behind Ohm and time, guys. Literally. Is that if I don't sell my stake, and if you don't sell your stake, and all we do is keep reinvesting, the best possible outcome for the both of us is number goes up, we all make millions, and we just have to hold the line. It's the literal DeFi equivalent of the prisoner's dilemma. It's hysterical to watch it play. Watch it play out. Like, it's, quite frankly, happens a lot more than you think in crypto. But did that make sense? Did I lay that out correct? You should Google it. Prisoner's dilemma. You can probably find a more succinct way of telling that than I just gave it. But the idea is if you add up the total jail time and all possible outcomes, It's 5, 5, or 2. And 2 happens if we both don't talk, but we each get a year. And the other way is 5 for each one. So let's take the best possible outcome for all parties. Is it a pyramid scheme? Yeah, I'm not even going to get into the mechanics, what ohm and time are, quite frankly, because I don't really understand it all. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to pull up the ohm chart right now. I know some people that have been invested in ohm for a long, long time. And literally printing tens of thousands of dollars a day. A day. These aren't, the people that have money, but not crazy money. Like the APY on this is absurd. And this, so like, when the prisoner dilemma cracked was here and here. So what does somebody ratting on their friends look like? Well, it's when somebody tries to unwind an enormous position. And so that's what ended up happening here. Some dude had like a $26 million position or something absurd. Tried to start unwinding his position, but he was over leveraged to the balls. Other people found out about it and they tried to liquidate his position. It's a little more complicated than that, but essentially what came down is there's a level point when you're over leveraged. Like he had a lot of money in and he was kind of reinvesting his yield, taking the loans out against what he already had in to then reinvest. Like it's kind of a Ponzi. But anyway, there's a liquidation point for whoever this person is, and so they drowned him out. Literally, he got liquidated down here for his whole position because that person broke the line. So don't ever think for a moment that this shit is all like scot-free, man. Crazy. This is what it looks like when the prisoner's dilemma fails. Bam. And I didn't pull it back up again. Let me see if I can get it. I will say time is slightly different in my view because Daniele, because he's Italian, is doing some crazy, crazy stuff to keep it. Yeah, he got absolutely clocked. If dude had just held the line and slowly unwound his position over the course of months versus trying to do it in a weekend, dude walks away with millions. Instead, he got out with some, but fractional compared to what it would have been. Wait for that to load. Daniele, again, because he's Italian, however you want to say it, I don't really care, is bringing time everywhere. So you're bringing different MIM holders, which are the bond holders, in, and like he has this thing like super, super multifaceted, doing a lot with it. Time probably has staying power, but time's also $5,000 a time right now versus $800 for ohm. But ohm is a lot larger. So anyway, it's just all psychological. It's all different games. Anyway, that is your 101 on what a prisoner's dilemma is in crypto. And it happens that way a lot. Like think about that for a moment. For the guys that had as much Bitcoin as they had early on. Yeah, I'll get to Adam. Thank you. I forgot. I'll do Adam next. For the guys that had as much Bitcoin early on as they did, like they could have absolutely destroyed it. It just continually took out every piece of liquidity that came in. And they didn't. They waited years. Some of it by accident. I forgot where my keys were. But it takes a little bit of holding, to get to your destination. Yes, that's my area on Atom. 3-day chart's a good chart as any. You had this pivot. There was a breakthrough. We tested it from the top once. We'll test it from here again. I expect it to hold. I'll delete that off because it's really the area that matters. So that's where I expect that area to hold. 28, 29. I don't really care. I don't do that. So what's funny is I talked about alts. I do not look at alts denominated in anything except for Ethereum. I think it's a completely different ecosystem. Personally. Isn't it nice that the sun isn't beating through my window directly onto my printer? Good Lord. Oh, Workaholic, that was your first one. All right. I mean, I'll pull it up because it's the first time you've talked, and so I feel like I should because, you know, you're a new person, so I'll do it. But I would say on the whole, the alt king is Ethereum. Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin is an indicator that all outs will outperform their underlying pair, generally speaking. Okay? So like Joe AVAX, if you're on AVAX, right? Yeah, just not USD. So I put a poll up in the forum last week about, yeah, I'm sure it does, about do you guys understand how relative strength works? And I don't have time to do that today, but I'm going to do it this week. I might stream 3 times this week, which would be the most I've streamed since, you know, last winter before golf season started. Love it. So, yeah, I just don't like to do it in Bitcoin. I don't know why. It just bothers me. It feels like I'm conflating instruments, even though they're pretty similar. So, you know, take that for what it is. But I'll look at it in ETH, generally speaking. And I will do a relative strength stream. It'll either be a part of my next one, or I'll do one on its own that just is like TA tips and tricks for an alt season or something like that. And I'm still working on my class. My class is coming along. To be 100% honest with you, I did not a lot of work over the summer because I was golfing. I have the outline, a lot of the work done, but the hard shit starts now. So, Akorian, what's up, buddy? Where you been? Yeah. I will do the full rundown on relative strength soon. And you guys will have what you need. Pungaza, first time chatter. I love it. I like that they give me these notices now. I didn't know that I got this. This is pretty sick. By the way, I really, really appreciate audience participation. I'm sure that sometime very soon it will be hard to keep up with all the chatting, but I like talking to you guys. Can I beat Kaz in golf? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Good for you, man. Good for you. What number? Atta boy. Well done. What's my handicap? I'm a 6. I'm an index 6 and a 6.5 maybe. Yeah, I'm not bad. I keep waiting for Mo and all those guys in Dubai to organize the crypto golf tournament at the Abu Dhabi or whatever golf tournament they have every year. I would definitely go play in that shit. I'll whoop the hell out of everybody. I mean, there's some golfers that are definitely better than me, but not a lot on crypto Twitter. So let's start the movement on that one. You'll see me in Dubai whooping people's asses. Ooh, okay. We got more first-time chatters. I like it. Der Meister? Der Mister himself. Bag of Magic. Very cool. You're 9.5. It's pretty good, man. Pretty good. When I joined my country club, I was an 11. This was only like 3 years ago. And it is quite a difference when you join a country club and you can play consistently without people in front of you. I got down to a 5 at the club. And now I'm like a 6. So, my advice, well, I know where you live, but it's probably a lot more expensive for you than where I live. But join a club if you can. All right, so let's look at Link really quick because I think it's worth talking about. So by the way, I want to, since dude asked a question I didn't actually answer, I started talking out of my ass here a little bit. Yeah, so it came back to Earth. It's just like AVAX ETH. Let's do that. I mean, we're right on this support line we had before. It could drop lower. Like I could see it at 0.011. AVAX ETH, I was like my level that I called was right here. In fact, this is how I sold the top, which I got a nice little shout out from Ledger on one of his streams for calling because I told him about it. Where when I said I was reducing, and it was it. Like it was literally this day. So we could hit this pocket, man. Like I'm not ruling out 0.11. I am not ruling out 0.11. So Keep that in mind. All right. I'm pulling something up on Twitter, and I'm going to pull it down on my screen because the question that I just got from Dermeister, I think is relevant. And this is the best way for me to... son of a bitch. I'll tell you what, man. I'll get there. Don't worry. I'll get there. There it is. All right. Perfect. So what was asked? The question that was asked was, what are your general thoughts on Link? I love the coin. I love the utility. But Link BTC and Link Eth has really been falling off. Yeah, that does not shock me. I understand my face is in the way here. I don't know how to move this over. I wonder if I can do it. No, sorry. Son of a bitch. Well, go to my Twitter account. You'll find it. But essentially, yeah, hell yeah, there's a lot more pain coming to alts. If this really breaks out, guys, I'm going to say this with, like, there, perfect. Now you can kind of see. If you have no idea, so many of you are so new, and I fucking love it. I'm so glad you're here, okay? Because I'm not a newbie anymore. I was a newbie last time. Not at trading, but I was at crypto. So many of you are so new to crypto that you like really don't even know what happens to alts when Bitcoin goes ham, because a lot of you got in because Bitcoin went up and then Ethereum had its run and then all these like fucking Safe Moon and shit, and Doge went crazy and Elon was talking about Come Rocket and like, you know, you made $1 kajillion and something nuts and now you have money. Like, good for you. I'm glad you're here. Those were all garbage to get you in. Okay, now you're here. Awesome. The question was, is there more pain coming to alts? It makes sense. Funding's quite high. It hasn't reset. You have no idea the amount of pain that will happen if Bitcoin breaks out to alts. It will be like a vacuum for all liquidity in every alt you hold. Just insane. And at Secrets of Crypto, if you're not following him right now, you're losing money. He tweets like 15 times a year, maybe a little more. I don't know. But at Secrets of Crypto, follow him now. Stop what you're doing. Get off the stream if you have to. Go follow him at Secrets of Crypto. Dude is the best. This is perfect. It's 100% true. Yep, thank you. Click on that link, go follow his ass. Because it's 100% right. And it's how this game works. Flow of money moves into Bitcoin, causing prices to surge. Phase overlap, which is where you want to rotate. It doesn't happen all at once. Money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Ethereum goes back and forth with Bitcoin until it starts to outperform it. That's where that ETH BTC chart comes from, and why I'm not going to be the one who's like, oh, let me be the first cat to do it, because you might get the head fake. Phase 2. Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. Like, I can't even tell you how unbelievably accurate that is. You know how you'll know it's getting closer to the time where Ethereum, it's time to rotate into Ethereum? Like, the bankless dudes will be tweeting left and right. And you'll be like, son of a bitch, just shut up. Like, I get it, okay? Yes, Ethereum is amazing. I think so too. Like, just calm down. That's how you'll know. When they're like, just so you know, since 3 weeks ago, Ethereum's up 18% versus Bitcoin, blah. You know, like that, you'll hear that garbage, okay? There's nothing wrong with it, dude. I love, like, frankly, I like Ethereum a lot more than Bitcoin. I just go where the money points me, right? And by the way, Dermeister, I'm doing all this to answer your question about Link, okay? Just so you know. I didn't like forget you. And if we go into a commercial or something, which I don't think we should, but if we do, please let me know so I don't talk to an empty room. It's supposed to let me know. Wasn't told. And then when Ethereum starts to level or find its area, you'll see an overlap into large caps. That's where Link comes in. So you can see that on a chart. So the same way that I'm looking at ETH BTC right now, and it's literally, I have 6 monitors in front of me. I mentioned that in my Telegram the other day, and people are like, yeah, fucking what? Yeah, I have 6 monitors. I have 2 rails mounted into the studs on the wall in front of me and 6 27-inch monitors, which is amazing, by the way. You should try it. And on the top, I literally top left, Bitcoin, top right, Ethereum, top center, ETH BTC. And then that's what I look at, my top 3 all day. I never take them off, ever. And then on the bottom is where I look at everything else. Because I want to see how those prices are interacting and meeting in the middle. And so, yeah, when you start to see Ethereum outperform Bitcoin and flip some of those key levels is when you start to rotate out of Bitcoin into Ethereum. And you let Ethereum do its thing. Because you know what a lot of you are going to do? You're going to see this shit and you're going to think, oh my God, this is what Jared was talking about. This is nuts. Let me get my money in Ethereum. I want to make some money here. And you're right. You will. But you're going to rotate into shit like Link too early. You're going to miss the move. But to Dermeister's point, this is where watching for Link/ETH to outperform is when you want to start rotating into large caps, folks. That's the relative strength. So I'm kind of giving you half the relative strength talk right now, but I'll actually show real examples later on and why you need to know about it and why risk management matters, okay? So, Bitcoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to large caps to mid, mid to low. Low is when crazy shit happens. Low is when, SafeMoon goes 10 gazillion X. And that usually is the end of the run. And by the way, it was the end of the run. Everyone was just speculating that it would be something else. Yeah, meme coins, exactly. Corian nailed it. Evicted. What's up, buddy? Welcome back. So, know what phase you're in. The tweet, look at the tweet, okay? All right, going back. It's starting again, going back. Secret's tweeting this is the most bullish thing I've seen since spring. Go follow him. That was me on October 6th. That was the day he tweeted this. The rotation was starting again. This pic is the background pic on my iPad. It's beautiful, okay? Sol is a large cap, okay? If you ever need to, know what he means by this, you guys should be on this shit, all the time. Market cap ranks, okay? What they mean by large caps is large caps. Look, Solana 7, dude. That is a large-ass cap, a large market cap. So it all flows downhill. You'll see BNB have a stupid run. It'll be back near $700 again. Cardano will inexplicably be high again for no reason, and it shouldn't be. Cardano fucking sucks. I'm glad they're not 3 anymore. Not that Binance Coin's necessarily better, but whatever. The XRP folks will be out. All the ads will be subtweeted, and fucking every person that, has any following on Twitter will tweet, and somebody will be like, did you know that XRP? You'll see all that stuff in there. So yeah, these are large caps. Then it just starts to go downhill. Believe it or not, guys, Dogecoin, large cap. It kills me that it is, but it is. No, you're 100% right. You're not offending me, you know that. Look, Luna, Litecoin, Avalanche, Link, okay, large cap. And then it starts to flow downhill. So just keep that in mind when you're talking about rotating, getting this stuff right. Dan earlier, Dan on YouTube said, all said and done, and after we hit alt season, would we have been better off holding alts through it all or rotate BTC, ETH, large, and then risk being too early or too late? So the question is, if you have an alt position that you enjoy, should you rotate? Do you, man? Depends what you're in. What I would say is if you are in blue chip alts and you have like a crazy low long, like let's talk about, let's see if it's ever loaded. What the fuck is it? All right. I have a spell long. I long spell right here. Right here. Yeah, Adam's like a mid-high. I long spell right here. Actually, like this day, August 13th. I'm not selling what spell I have remaining because I want to catch the Bitcoin pump. Let's go to Link. It's a good point. There's the reversal that we caught. It's fucking gorgeous. This is how, when I streamed on July whatever, part of the reason why I caught the reversal was because of these types of divergences. It made it very clear that we were bouncing, right? Dude, by the way, you can go back in my chat room. I said you should buy Spell back then. Anybody who followed me got a 30x. And I'm not really an alt guy. Like, I'm a macro guy. I just sometimes bang on some alts. Okay? Let's look at Linketh. Linketh. Oof. God bless. That looks like a bag of shit, doesn't it? Yeah, I know you do. I'm not saying you were. I don't even know why I was like, you questioning my clout? Like, you didn't doubt me. The point is, like, it happens every now and again. But yeah, this looks terrible. It would not surprise me if this dropped another 50%. More likely here. Yeah, I'll amend that. Probably here. Boy. Woof. Okay. What indicator is that one at the bottom? Oof. That's my indicator. Yeah, so I have a custom indicator that if you join Stacked Labs, my Telegram room, and ask me very nicely, I'll give you access to it. And there's nothing special about my indicator, okay? I just want to make that clear because all it would take is one person to be like, piece of shit, this thing's easy. It's the standard indicator. It is, okay? There's no, like, it's a MACD indicator. So you can go create this on your own. But it's conditionally formatted where if momentum's rising, it's blue. If it's falling, it's pink. If it transitions from rising to falling, you see that red bubble. If it transitions from falling to rising, meaning the momentum is improving, you see the white bubble. So it's pretty clear when you see changes in momentum. So I like it. And if you listen to me at all, and if you stick around and hang out with us in Stack Labs, or if you ask questions in here or show up on streams moving forward, you'll hear me talk about this. Like my investing thesis is keep it simple. When everyone else is trying to make 40 chess out of checkers, play a really good fucking game of checkers, okay? Play a really fucking solid game of checkers. Like, it's so dumb how much people try to overcomplicate a thing. But I would rather whoop your ass at a really good game of checkers than try to beat you in 4D chess. You know what I mean? Like, and it's so silly, but it's why I have these indicators. It's why I keep big red boxes on my chat or on my chart screen. So it's like, oh, big red box, that must mean resistance. So if I'm looking down doing something else and I look up and I get an alert, I see a big red box, that means resistance. Big green box, that means support. Super dumb. But in a pinch, when you need to make a decision and think critically, I don't want to be charting and being like, oh God, was this a key level or not a key level? I don't really know. Keep it simple for yourself. Build your own style. This is my style. This indicator at the bottom is my style. I want to know if momentum's falling or rising. I want to know if we had a shift. That's it. It's super easy stuff, guys. Super easy stuff. And gals. Damn it. What's the term you're supposed to use these days? Is it people? That's the way people. Folks, I don't know. Maybe you don't identify as a human. Whatever. Back to the point on Link. What do you do here? Well, look, versus USD, you're not really getting crushed. Yeah, thank you. Versus USD, you're not getting crushed. The problem is if you were in Ethereum instead of Link after you had this little run, you'd be doing a lot better, right? That's the problem. So can you Jedi mind trick yourself into being like, I'm okay and I like Link long term and I don't want to pot, because like, you know what's going to happen. You're going to sell it. You're going to sell the lows when you think it's going lower. It's going to be the reversal. It's going to rip ahead and you're going to FOMO back in, have less and be pissed at yourself. Okay? So don't sell it. You got to decide what you want to do. I have alts that I have not sold to Bitcoin that I really like, that I have great entries on, or that I just don't give a shit about. Like, I've not sold any of my stuff in the Cosmos ecosystem. I just have it all staked to the validators. I don't care. I don't care. Right? Like, I'm going to let them accrue rewards. And if it all goes to zero, it all goes to zero. That's just how we feel about it. It's not a meaningful amount of money for me. So I'm okay with that. If 90% of my net worth was on Cosmos, then yeah, I'd be moving to Bitcoin. And based on the Atom chart, they have been too. Okay? Right? That's what that's saying. Anyway. Yeah, dude. Farm. Everything. I've not pulled a dime off of Atom. I don't think I ever will. My bet on Atom is purely long-term. Every bit of everything that I farm, I'm just staking. That's a bet on very smart people to do something that's magical and one day pay off is making me like super rich. Okay? And if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. And that is a luxury I'm afforded because of making some good decisions in previous times. Okay, that's not a choice everybody gets to make. So I don't care as much. But I said this earlier, 85% of my net worth right now is in Bitcoin. 85%. That's as high as it's ever been. Look at this Rook rip. Good Lord. What happened on Rook? So, Dermeister, does that answer your question, man? I know I kind of hopped around a little bit, but you got to decide what's best for you. He's like, you were talking too much, man. I left. Get to the point. Say what you're going to say or don't. Jesus Christ. Cake, somebody asked me about. You should surprise no one that this is where Cake landed, right? Yeah, no problem. No problem. Just knowing where you are in the cycle is huge alpha. We're not there yet. Do I think Link's going to have a crazy rip eventually? Yep. Will I buy it when it does? Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Hey, YouTube stream like. All right. I don't know what that means, man. I never really log into YouTube, so I'm chatting to those people that are on YouTube. I just chat through Restream. Actually, for both. But I literally have 3 chat boxes. It was a nuanced question, man. I could have just said Adastra, been like, yeah, sell it. You know? It's not who I am. Plus, I'm Italian. I used to be in sales. Like, this is... I'm a showman, damn it. I want to get my money's worth. My man started with 4 and 7 years ago. Gettysburg Address was shorter than what I just said, bro. The Gettysburg Address was shorter than what I just said. Yeah, 100%. That's pretty funny, isn't it? Didn't even know. Did not even know that is where that ended up being. But this box that I drew ended up being R after it broke down again. Oh, you, Dan, you shut your mouth. I can only go nuts on centralized infrastructure so often before people in black suits and silencers show up in my house. Yeah. Yeah, I talked about Ohm earlier, evicted. You should yeah, that's one way to think. That's one way to look at it. You should watch the stream again. It is DeFi 2.0. It's all, yeah, dude. No, dude. Ohm is great. So is Time. I bought Time, dude. Time is one of my biggest regrets, like this year, no doubt. I bought Time. First time I bought Time was like $600. Time went up to $9,000, and that whole time it never dropped below like 18,000% APY, and I sold it like $3,000. So, you know, yeah, Time, Kalima, Ohm, all the same shit. It's not garbage. It's just different. Did I? All right. I'm glad you knew that. Yeah. So you gotta go back and watch the video. I can't explain it again. Everybody else in the stream would be like, yeah, bro, you just repeated 10 minutes of the stream for Evicted. So I covered all of it on how Ohm and all that shit works. So give it a go. So C-Main, or Manye, I don't know how to say his name. I'm surprised he's doing his Gettysburg Address. Just really quick, anecdotally. Growing up with my father, we had a tradition in the summers. We did it like 4 times, maybe. 3-4 times? Maybe 5. I don't know. We would do ballparks and battlefields. So I'm a big baseball fan. Love going to games. My dad is into the Civil War. And a few weeks ago when I was on vacation, when I didn't stream for a while, that's what I was doing. I actually was down. I went to Fort Sumter and did a few other things. And we went to the second to last game of the year in Atlanta. But yeah, when I was growing up, that's what we would do. Like starting in 6th, 7th grade, is we would like drive to Pittsburgh, see a Pirates game, go to Gettysburg, right? You know, drive to Philadelphia, you know, hit some battlefields along the way, go see the Phillies, go see Arlington Cemetery, go see the Nationals, or whatever. So that's what my childhood was like. So yeah, Gettysburg Address. Not shocking to me. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I'm a big fan of the Civil War. I'm a big fan of the Civil War for a few reasons. One, I feel like we're kind of trending that direction again, although we never would. And like the fact that we have so much shit going on in our country, and we can't even talk about it because like people are too sensitive nowadays. I'm like, you know, just so you know, this is something people don't know. They tried to work out slavery at the signing of the Declaration. The Northerners didn't really want it. I mean, like, they were using it, but they were like, nah, we could be done with this. And the Southerners were like, no, it's a big part of our economy. They couldn't come to an agreement in the 13 colonies. So you know what they did? They're like, fuck it, we'll just table it for later. It didn't take 100 years for a civil war to happen, okay? That's what happens when we don't talk about shit. Pretty funny. A lot of people don't know that. Let's talk about Sol really quick. People just sat down and talked about their shit a little more. It actually looks more productive than I thought. I don't think I realized that this happened. I haven't really been looking. You guys know I hold a lot of Sol. I have not really been watching because there's very little that you could do to get me to sell my soul, pun intended, right now. But this is productive. And if this holds and moves sideways and just kind of like hangs outside this DTL downward trend line and just kind of does one of these guys and just moves, you know, you'll eventually see that. So I think Sol looks pretty productive. A lot more than I expected, to be honest with you. Very good stuff. Luna kind of came back to Earth. Somebody asked about one, didn't they? Can I get that on here? Yeah. Damn. Looks really solid. All right, so two things. One, this is the part where if you have an alt you want me to look at, I'm happy to do it. If not, we can just sign off. But I'm happy to just kind of vibe and look around. There's other stuff I wanted to do, and I can hang out with you guys, and you can watch me do it, or whatever. The other thing is, when I first... Yeah, I can look at VRA. The other thing is, when I first started streaming a long time ago, I used to put out a Google Sheet where... yeah, a little bit. Where you could submit alts. And it would be like the name of the alt, the CoinGecko listing. Yeah, invite. All right, yeah, I can do that for you. Invite link, copy link. Here's the Telegram if you want to come in. If you're interested in using my indicator, go for it. If not, that's fine too. I don't really care. I appreciate you coming to hang out. Always a good time when people are willing to come hang out. But I used to, anyway, put out this Google form that like responses would come into me, and you'd have to list like the project, its website, you know, if there was a CoinGecko, the CoinGecko, and like a little bit of a summary. And I would either try to live do it or I would research it later on. That becomes a little bit hard to do, and that's what I found. It was like, oh my God, you get shit in there where you're like trying to like live diagnose FA, and like I'm just not that guy. It's a little bit difficult for me to do that on the fly, but I don't know. Is that interesting to anybody to potentially do that? Be like, nah, man. We'll just shout at you, and hopefully you get it. I want to know why one is outperforming every other alt. You know? All right. We'll bring that back. Shouting is fun, but organization would be dope. It's hard, dude. I also have a text box up here that I can like keep a chat log of. It just gets a little cumbersome. Yeah, maybe that's it, C-Man. Okay, crazy APYs on one, so people are actually able to like get some old DeFi summer yield. That might be it. Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough. I mean, they're pretty crazy on Atom too, but they're not that crazy. It's like 300%. You know? I mean, veracity, this shit. Just keep in mind that Only Bad Names Left was like, you should check out VRA here. And here we are, a double later, as Bitcoin mooned. It's pretty sick. Well done, dude. Get the low time frames here. Oh, actually, you know what else I was going to do? This. See, man, it is so hard for me. Like, are you kidding me right now? This is the S&P 500 Futures Index. Yeah, that's what I figured it was Maine. I didn't ever say Magni. I just kind of like mumbled. See, Maine. But good to have you. Like Charlemagne. So we had this falling wedge formation on the S&P 500, and we cracked out of it. We are sitting at R right now. But short of that, we're into all-time highs. That's Nordic? All right. It looks like it, doesn't it? Legitimately, I drew this red box here in November and drew it over. And we've never broken above it. It would not be good for us if it did. Like, for real. It'd be very bad. Because it would not stop for a while. It would run for a bit. But the dollar has gotten shot down, which is good for us. S&P 500, which is high beta. The 500 largest and highest beta moving stocks are breaking out. I have a lot of BABA options that expire in November that I bought down here. We'll see. Like solar's moving. BTCD continues to crank. It's pretty impressive out here right now. There's a lot of good stuff going on. So I'm less concerned. Have I done 1 inch? No. Should I? What is 1 inches like? I gotta be honest. Who trades on 1 inch still? Anybody? I traded on 1 inch to get the airdrop. And never again. Nah. I don't think most people use DYDX. Is that what it is? Do they? All right. DYDX is not the same thing as 1 inch. Just to be clear. They're not the same thing. DYDX and FODL, F-O-D-L-E, are probably more closely related than DYDX and 1 inch. So, no. Yeah, it's just kind of range bound. 220 to 4. With gas and ETH, like it makes sense. Yeah, that will make more sense. ZEC, Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, also another great DeFi indicator for the record. And it's just not there yet. I'm just gonna sit down here in this pocket. Feels like there could be a rinse coming. Pretty rare that you get like just a free lunch. I think anyway. All right, so moral of the story here. See what Bitcoin's going to do. Watch for the rotation. Join Stack Labs if you want to chat about it. If not, don't. I'll definitely stream another one time this week. Maybe not two. So wait on the sidelines and catch time. I didn't say that. I did not say that. You can find ways to get involved. You can hold Bitcoin as your collateral. You can buy Ethereum if you really want to. Ethereum is better than holding dollars. So, I don't know. It depends on how you're grading yourself. Humane? Yeah, Polygon's fine. Matic. Nothing wrong with Polygon. I just think they had their moment. They got hacked. That sucked. It's hard to regain that, man. Hard to regain that. Very, very hard to regain that trust once you have some shit like that go down. I'm more interested in whether or not AVAX is really going to go to, the IBC technology and join Cosmos. Like, if that happens, that shit would be nuts. The Kleba launch seems to be a disaster. Good. Good. There's only so many times that play can be run before shit starts to go real bad. And by the way, the thing about Ohm and Klima and Time and that kind of stuff is you have to have mega backing that is willing to hold back, that is willing to watch a lot of paper profit come through and not capitalize on it, which Camel Cam, what's up? Very, very hard for a lot of people to do. And finding the people that are willing to sit on the sidelines while like generational wealth being printed in front of them, easier said than done. So if you get like a bunch of C tiers involved in a launch like that, ooh, good luck. Good luck. I don't know who's behind Klima, to be honest with you. But if it's a disaster, then good bet. Good bet. Yeah, ETH BTC, we're not there yet. Somebody asked about that again as we go out. I'm happy to do it. ETH BTC is my favorite thing to trade. It's what I feel I do the best, more than anything else. This is where I've kind of, made most of my money in big trading, is learning how to play this back and forth. So I'm happy to talk ETH BTC whenever we can. I'm thinking right now it's number 2. Is where we'll see support come in. It could be number 3, and quite frankly, we could wick down here into some crazy shit near 0.05, and if that happens, oh my god, Bitcoin's gonna be like $80,000, maybe more, but it could happen. I heard NFTs are going on the layer 2 to fix the gas congestion. Yeah, it's possible, Camel. Camel, you got me right at the end here too, man. I'm signing off here in a moment, but like, I put the Stack Labs invite link in the chat. If you guys want to come chat, ask questions, talk about this stuff some more, I'm happy to do so. I just don't want to like sit on here forever and I don't have a ton to talk about. And quite frankly, I'm thirsty. I need to get a drink. So, but yeah, I will be. Look, I'm going to stream at least 2 times a week for like the next 6 months, unless I'm on vacation. So we'll be talking about this a lot. It'll be hard for me to rotate and for you to not know about it. I would love for NFTs. Every time there's a big mint, I know it. So I'm like, son of a bitch. Every fucking time I go to make a transaction, I'm like, $200? What? Like I mentioned the other day, like I went to change USDT to USDC and it cost me $200 on Ethereum. And I was like, great. Pleasure doing business with you. Yeah, all right, so maybe I should be using 1inch. I don't got time for that kind of research, Corian. I need you to come tell me that shit. Anyway, it's good stuff. All right, I'm starting the countdown. This is 1 minute. 1 minute left. I minted Mad Rabbits, 5x by ETH. Can't complain, that's great. Yeah, I need you to tell me that stuff. I'm slow to that. Macro moves, I got you. For smart plays like that, I need you to get me. For real. I learned as much from you guys. It's a lot of fun. Thank you for all the new followers today. These Dated Monkey 69, that's a hilarious name. Norway is the best, that's kind of cool. Mikhail Ups, Der Meister, Bag of Magic, that's a cool name. 30 seconds left. Any last questions? Any last thoughts? Great stream. Thank you. W's. See inside. A lot of minutes happen. Why? Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I wish I had a Bored Ape whitelist. Tomorrow. Come hit me, Norway.